And we say good morning to you. Welcome. We're live at Champion Chevrolet on this Thursday. Of course, Thursdays mean Champion Chevrolet Day, the number one Chevy dealer in the state. We say good morning to you, and we thank you for being with us here again on this Thursday, January the 18th, 2018. Show number, excuse me, 669. So ready to go. Our countdowns are on. We are even Steven 30 days out from the Daytona 500, and we are 57 days away from the Food City 500. We'll tell you all about that. We can get your tickets at Food City and at Bristol Motor Speedway, either or, as folks, the phones are ringing and folks are getting excited about NASCAR and getting excited, even more excited about the world's last great Coliseum at Bristol Motor Speedway. So we say good morning to you. Thank you. We are live here again at Champion Chevrolet. They got some great incentives for the month of January. We're going to tell you all about that coming up here in just a little while. Be sure and like and share the show, and we would appreciate that very much. And so we have guests lined up and ready to go. We got our buddy Pete Tackett's going to join us coming up here in just a little while. Pete's going to be with us and talking about the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association and some things you can do to get involved in those efforts. Again, coming up with Will Graham coming to town April the 27th to the 29th. Carmichael joins us by phone today. He's snowed in, but he said, I want to talk sports, and so we'll do that. Also, our buddy Andy Dietrich will join us here coming up in just a few minutes, the co-owner of Champion Chevrolet, along with our dear friend Tim Copenhaver. So Andy will be here in a little while talking sports, and we've got lots to cover. NFL, Tom Brady, if you're a Patriot fan, may not be 100% for the championship game on Sunday. We'll tell you about that. Danica Patrick's in the NASCAR news. She looks like we'll be back on the track for the Daytona 500 in 30 days. We'll tell you all about that. We've got college basketball. We've got the McDonald's All-American game and who's going to be in the game and who is benefiting from that game in terms of colleges that have signed these kids to go on and play basketball coming up in the next couple of years. Also, Dale Jr. in a car wreck because of the snow in North Carolina. We'll tell you all about that coming up here again in just a few minutes. And again, it's a busy day. The Buccaneers of East Tennessee State on the road to the big double dip tonight. Ladies game got snowed out last night, and so it'll be a double dip. Lady Bucks and Lady Paladins, and the gentlemen will follow. We'll tell you all about that coming up. And then Tennessee laid an egg last night on the road at Missouri. So all kinds of things to go through and talk about here on this Thursday. We're live at Champion Chevrolet. We always start our show unashamedly. We dedicate the show to the man that hung on the cross. And here's the verse of the day to get it started. I love this. It is out of the book of Psalms. Psalms 139:13-14 says, I created your innermost being. I knit you together in your mother's womb. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Woo-hoo. Don't ever forget that. And so that is the verse of the day to get us started here on the road. As we said, we're at Champion Chevrolet. Tomorrow, Food City will be engraved with a big Food City $5 sale. It's food at $5 day at Food City tomorrow. We'll tell you all about that. They got some deals too. Goodness gracious, got a whole sheet full of specials going on. And there it is right here for the Food City $5 Friday. Then on Monday, can't wait, we're going to be on the road. Darius Hensley's going to load us up in his buckboard wagon, and away we go. These team of horses across the mountain. We're going to be going to the Billy Graham Training Center at the Cove in Black Mountain, North Carolina, with a show there on Monday. Cannot wait. We're going to be talking to Eric Wilkes and Jim Kirkland and, of course, the Will Graham, Billy Graham's grandson. So it's going to be a cool show, and I don't know if anybody's ever done this before. They have a radio station on property there on the grounds of the Cove at the Billy Graham Training Center, so I don't know whether they're letting an outsider come in, a foreigner, if you will, a foreigner, come in there for the first time or not, but we're going to be there and can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun, and so we'll talk more about that, of course, tomorrow. But so for me personally, been at this a long time. It's going to be one of the personal treats for me in my career. I can tell you that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to my buddy Darius Hensley, who's here, as a matter of fact, standing right there for moral support. He said, Tom, you're scared, you've never done this, so I thought I'd just come by and help you because you don't really know what to say sometimes, and so I just I just want to be here for you, big guy. And I said, thank you, Mr. Hensley, that's good. So everybody needs a little, Moses looked up and Aaron had his hands held up. So Darius is holding up my hands here today on this cold Thursday at Champion Chevrolet. We're going to take a break. Andy's going to join us coming up here in a few minutes. Again, we got college basketball. We've got college football. New offensive coordinator at Alabama. May surprise you who he picked. Nick Saban, again, got himself a new one, third in 4 years that he's went and got a new offensive coordinator for the juggernaut known as the Alabama Crimson Tide. So lots to talk about. We thank you for being with us. Like and share the show. We'd appreciate that very much. And so every day it says as it continues to outperform the show from the day before, and we're very appreciative of that. And so we give all the glory to the man who we dedicate the show to. Quick break. We'll be right back. Our first look will be in college hoops. We'll do that next year as we're live on the road at Champion Chevrolet, show number 669 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Look at him. He's back, and he's still got his beard. I like it. He's in the house.
Well, it's too cold to shave it.
You got that right. He's our buddy Andy Dietrich with us again, co-owner of Champion Chevrolet. And good morning, my
It's
good
cold
comrade.
here in the studio inside the showroom. Maybe Cletus can work on getting us more of a heated
Yeah. I like to have
studio.
a big propane stove right here
Yeah.
blowing, so my hair will fly.
We get
in
a
the breeze.
suntan, too, from the propane heat
That's it.
while we're here.
So I could use some Blue Lizard sunscreen because my face will be nice and tanned up here. So I like how you think. We're here again at Champion Chevrolet inside the studio, inside the showroom here at Champion, the #1 Chevy dealer in the state, and off and running for 2018.
Look at you.
Yeah,
You are going high. Look at that.
Look at people watching. What Brenda said. Brenda said, "Love that you give glory to God." Thank you, Brenda. Renee's watching. Andrea's watching. So look at you. See, that's that new tablet I got from
That
Sprint.
is so you can respond just like that.
Megaseconds.
Or if you know somebody's talking about you that shouldn't be talking about you, you can see that too.
Yes, I can.
And then you can say something about them on air.
If you say something that's not kind to me, I can respond quickly.
Or a nice comment would be nice
Yes.
about, Tom, how good looking he is and stuff like that. He likes that. That's a big motivator for him.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he does what he does.
That's exactly right. Just sit here waiting for somebody to say things like that. So, and when I walked in this morning, Tim took me back to the 6th grade. He said, Tommy Taylor. I've been called Tommy Taylor in a long time.
Slim Tim over there.
Yeah, I like
over 50 pounds
I'm
lost.
Proud of him.
I mean, he can whoop me now. Used to he couldn't catch me, but now he can catch me and whoop me.
I bet he could whoop you. I bet he could have caught you and whooped you back in the day.
Probably so.
Yeah. So, it's good stuff.
What I got my hands on the other day. I was up in his office.
Mm-hmm.
I got my hands on that bobblehead of his.
Uh-oh.
That one that he hid.
He hid. You found it.
But I have it, and it still says, "I am not your father." When you hit the play button, after all, it's been over a year. It's been up there, and it's still got my voice saying that on it.
I am not your.
He's turning a little red over there.
All right, we got the gala coming up, January 29th. Is that right?
27th.
I'm sorry, the 27th, a week from Saturday.
You do not have to be present to win the car or the money.
Yes.
Out of this will be 11 years we've done it. We've never had anybody present who won.
But you call them on the phone, which is pretty cool.
But we will. What's cool is we'll draw them right up. It's close to 10 o'clock, and we draw their name, and we announce it in the room to see if anybody in the room is the winner, which has never been since I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we call them on speakerphone on somebody's cell phone and see if they answer, and let the whole audience here. We'll hold it up to the speaker, and it's a neat deal and surprising somebody. And sometimes they think you're prank calling them. So,
but it's cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, $50 ticket, and you're still selling tickets here, and they can also get them on the web at mshfoundation.org.
mshafoundation.org.
Yes.
And
so,
if you don't win one of the 3 cars, you win the car. You can choose between a 2018 Chevrolet Traverse, a 2017 Silverado 1500 double cab, or a 2018 Cadillac ATS. And if you don't win the car, one of the 3 cars, they do have 3 other drawings for $2,500 cash, $1,500 cash, and $1,000 cash. So 4 chances, only 4,000 tickets printed, and as history. I can go back and look, and I'm probably not supposed to say this, but they've never sold the max, all the tickets out. They only printed 4,000. Last year they printed 3,000, but it did 4,000 this year, anticipating selling a few more because the merger takes place here in 2 weeks. But they've never ever sold out of raffle tickets, so it's a great odds, and 100% of each $50 raffle ticket goes to Niswonger's Children's Hospital. If you read in some of the stories that are out now, the gala proceeds, if you go to the gala, you buy an auction item, you donate money while you're there, it goes to the Healing Garden. They've got this garden that's they had to close it a few years ago. It just got run down, and with everything else, it just put on the back burner. Well, they're trying to open that garden back up, and it's a place for families that are there visiting loved ones or staying if they just need a quiet place to go. It's just a park benches and trees and flowers and just this pretty little garden. And so that's where the money goes from the gala, but the raffle ticket proceeds goes straight to Niswonger's Children's Hospital to help kids and equipment that they need to take care of them.
We're talking to Andy Dietrich, co-owner of Champion Chevrolet, and so the gala coming up a week from Saturday. $50 tickets, and again, it all stays right here to help Niswonger Children's Hospital. And so everybody wins. The ticket, 100% of the ticket of the $50 goes to Niswonger. You put yourself in the running. Obviously, the more tickets you purchase, the better chance you are to win one of these, 4 big prizes.
Yep.
Your choice of vehicle or the 3 cash prizes. You don't have to be there to win. You can even buy your tickets online. You can come here and buy them here at the showroom of Champion.
Yeah, we'd love to see you.
Yeah. Or you can do mshafoundation.org. And, of course, the event itself is going to be at the venue in downtown Johnson City. And so everything is everybody wins. Nobody loses out of this deal. Buy a ticket and change your life. We had Lisa Carter in here back before Christmas, the CEO of Niswonger. And, of course, she's just said, hey, we really depend on this, and it's such a really cool event, and the money's raised go to a great cause because it goes right to helping these kids at Niswonger Children's Hospital. So,
oh, yeah. And we tried to get Lisa or Tiffany here today, and Tiffany is so caught up with all the gala stuff getting ready for it, and Lisa is extremely busy, especially with the merger stuff coming up here in 2 weeks. It's just not a good time. We'd love to have them, but they've got their jobs and things like that they've got a lot going on right now, so that's what they're doing. But
coming up, college basketball in a few minutes. We got 5 upsets last night of top 25 college hoops. We'll tell you all about that coming up here in a little while. We are here with Andy Dietrich, owner of Champion Chevrolet, here on a Thursday. Tomorrow we'll be at Food City in Gray on a Food City Friday. All right.
Should we tell them where you're going to be on Valentine's Day?
Tell them where I'm going to be on Valentine's Day. Now, this is not the show. This is over and above the show.
Over and above the show.
Yeah, the show's still going to be 11 to 1, but
yes.
That morning I'm going to be hanging with you. Would you like to tell the folks your new title, one of the new titles you've taken on for 2018? Proudly that you are.
Well, hopefully
handed you the gavel.
It's going to be enough. Hopefully it's the only one. Hope I don't take anything else. But I'll be chairman of the John C. Chamber Board for 2018, chairman, president of that. So our first monthly morning breakfast is Valentine's Day at Sam's Club.
There you go.
7:30 a.m. it starts. So Tom came to me and said, well, I could broadcast at one of those.
Sure.
I was like, well, that's a great idea, because there's going to be tons of businesses there, and he can promote that. He can promote himself. It's in it and report. Some people may be sitting out here watching this today and say, I really don't know what goes on at Chamber Breakfast. I've never been. Well, you can sit there live and watch what goes on.
Yes, I'm excited.
And then hopefully you'll want to come.
Yes.
Because they are fun. Now, I've right after they opened a new Food City over here on the State of Franklin and Sunset, they have a big banquet room upstairs, and we had a monthly morning breakfast there. It's been a little over a year ago when that opened, but it is incredible, and just the people that come out for it. It's a good networking deal that they give away gifts. They have a lot of businesses donate prizes to it, and everybody drops their business card in a bucket, and they pull that out, and they win prizes donated from different businesses, and different people get up and talk about things going on in the community, and it's just a good thing. If you live here, or Washington County, Jonesboro, John City, and you love your community where you live, work, and play, you need to be a part of it.
Yep. So Valentine's morning, this is over and above the show. We're still going to do the show on Wednesday. Probably going to be at Chick-fil-A, we'll be. But on that Wednesday morning, Valentine's Day, the day of love, we're going to be at Sam's Club with the John City Chamber. Just call it the Chamber Breakfast, right?
Yes, Chamber. Yep. Monthly morning breakfast.
There we go. Looking forward to it.
And Tom will be there handing out roses to all the single ladies. Oh yeah.
What did I do to deserve this today? I just showed up. He's been always since I hit the door. Tim, can you call him off, please? He's all over me today. He wants trying to get me fixed up with people. He says I'm going to pass out roses on Valentine's Day. Can you?
Maybe.
Well, I don't think I want him to miss me like this. So buck up, right?
Yeah.
Put on your big boy pants.
I mean,
right.
and too, you might. I mean, to really surprise all the single ladies there, you may even have chocolate dipped strawberries for them.
Yeah. For all the single ladies, chocolate dipped strawberries. There you go.
I mean, I bet they will have them at Sam's. I bet we can make a phone call and have some just sitting at your booth.
So I just put a little sign that says, if you're single, if you're a single lady.
If you're single and want to mingle, come see Tom.
If you're single and want to mingle. He's out of control. Is it full moon?
God, you've missed me, haven't you?
I have missed you, yeah.
Do you have anybody else like this on any of your shows?
No, I have nobody else like this, no.
Everybody's so, serious and talking about things.
Yeah. And you're just all
I just
over the
off
place.
script.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about good things.
What'd you say? I'm single and I want to mingle?
Yeah. Roses and chocolate dipped strawberries on Valentine's Day, coming live from Sam's Club.
There you go.
How much more romantic can you get?
You can't top it on Valentine's morning. So there you go.
You're like, can we change the subject?
Can we go to this right over here, please? I'm getting a little,
run over like a freight train.
Freight train. There you go. What's going on? What is the monthly incentive? Last month it was employee discount month. In November and December, we have changed. What's come out for the month of January now, Championship?
What's on most of all of our trucks, 2017s and 18s, is supplier pricing. And you'll say, well, so you had employee pricing last month and supplier pricing this month. And General Motors, they always tweak, every month or every couple months, but the way they've tweaked it to change it to supplier pricing, they've stuck more rebates to go along with the supplier pricing to either equal or have better discounts and rebates than when it was employee pricing in November, December. So, they're always doing something. They can't run the same thing every month. It gets old. But some of the things that I've seen with the supplier pricing and some of the extra rebates they've stuck on things, some things are a better deal than the last 2 months, believe it or not. When, everybody thinks you got to buy before the end of the year, those are your best deals. Honestly, I've done the math, and some of the better deals are right now. And we had such a good November, December. We've got tons of trade-ins, about 135 used vehicles in stock. Probably 90% of them are locally owned vehicles. So we can call the previous customer. We can put you in touch with the previous customer to see how they took care of their vehicle. We can run auto checks / Carfaxes on things to see if they've been in wrecks. They're not from auctions. A lot of dealers take vehicles to auctions to dump them and get rid of them because it does have a problem and they don't want to fool with it. So our stuff's been locally traded for. But we've got $11,995 off 17 select 17 Sparks, Equinox 18 for $19,995, a 17 for Traverse for $28,995, and a 20% off 2017 Corvettes off MSRP. So you're saving $12,000, $13,000, $14,000, $15,000 off select Corvettes. Website's www.championjc.com. We're there 24 hours, 7 days a week. We have Saturday service hours. It's just one-stop shop.
I'm assuming with the snow we had and obviously the wintry weather, it's still in the single digits. Actually, it's into the double digits now. It's warming up. It's going to be into the 50s by the weekend, so we're going to pull out of this thing. But I would assume with the weather we've had, there's been a spike in interest of trucks.
Yes, trucks and all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive vehicles. It's but what's crazy is though I could say that, but I remember when we had a real big snow. It was 2 years ago. When we had like 6 inches, because I remember Tim ran across the street to East Tennessee Rentals and rented a Bobcat with a scoop on the front of it to scrape our whole lot, and it was that deep. Had a guy come in here and buy one of these $100,000 Z06s. Corvettes, and we sold 2 other two-wheel drive, or front-wheel drive cars that day. Not four-wheel drives. So yes, you can say yes. We have sold four-wheel drives because of the weather, but I remember that day we sold 3 two-wheel drive vehicles, and it was the biggest snow we'd had in years. So you can't, and sometimes in history it proves that Saturday, for furniture and other retail establishments and car business, Saturdays have always been the best day. But because of the internet and people can cut their shopping times down, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are sometimes bigger than Saturdays now.
There you go.
Used to back in 70s, 80s, and 90s, people visited. This is studies they've done. People visited between 3 and 4 dealerships before they bought. You know how many they visit now? 1.3. 1.3.
So they make the decision.
www.championjc.com.
There you go, championjc.com. Well, again, cold today. You don't even have to leave your home. You get on the internet, peruse the championjc.com.
I know you sit at home in your lazy boy in your bathrobe.
I do.
With your hair sticking straight up, just searching on the World Wide Web.
Yes, I did. That's where I found my car.
But ladies, he's single and ready to mingle.
We're ready to go to the break. You gonna come back in a little while?
If you'll have me.
I'll let you know.
You may vote me off the island. I don't know.
You're right on the edge. You've got your feet in the water right now. So
usually it's Tim's about to deck me. It's gonna be the Tom Taylor decking hour.
Oh, it'll be a tag team. Tim and Tom are gonna put the whooping on you.
May break this table.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna take a break and be right back. We got college basketball and Pete Tackett next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hello to Greg Bradley. Hello, JoJo. Also to Bobby Dickens, our buddy Gatorman down Cherokee Barbershop, one of our great sponsors. And so, quick break. We'll be right back. We is live again at Champion Chevrolet, show number 669 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
And they said it wouldn't last.
And they said it wouldn't last.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try the pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just 2 great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show, you see my buddy right there, Pete Tackett. He's going to join us coming up here in just a second. Hello to Nikki Palmer. Hello, young lady. Hope you're having a good day today. She's a sweetheart. We appreciate her very much, and we sit beside her in Sunday school every Sunday. So hello to Miss Nikki, and also to Greg Jojo Bradley and Bobby Dickin and Brenda Byram over in Elizabeth and some of the folks watching the show. Be sure and like us and share us. We'd appreciate that. I got a brand new tablet, compliments of Sprint, and we love that. And we'll tell you all about the Sprint boys and the specials they've got going on right now. If you're a member of a credit union, you want to be sure and hear all about what Sprint can do for you, and also how you can get 5 lines for $100. We'll tell you about that coming up here in just a minute or two. And Pete's going to join us about a big announcement about how you can get involved with the Will Graham. They don't call them Crusades, the celebration coming up April the 27th to the 29th at Freedom Hall here in Johnson City. Top 25 college basketball. We got 5 upsets last night. I guess the word is parity. We'll talk to Pete about this coming up here in a second. He's a big sports guy, too. We go back a long way, as a matter of fact. So he and I know each other, and he's a dear friend. I think the world of him. SMU goes into Wichita State last night, beat the Shockers. 7th-ranked Shockers go down 83-78 final there. Auburn, Bruce Pearl and the boys go into Tuscaloosa, and Alabama puts a 76-71 win over them and on them. Auburn was 17th in the country, still is. I'm sure they'll drop next week. The new polls come out every Tuesday. Auburn falls to 16-3. Alabama goes to 13-6. Texas Tech, the other upset you had, Seton Hall, 19th in the country at 15-4, went to Creighton, and the Blue Jays beat them by 17, wore them out, and so Seton Hall falls to 15-5. Other upsets, Tennessee laid an egg last night. Rick Barnes and the boys go into Quanzo Martin's territory, Missouri, and again, 59-55 win for Missouri, 4-point win. Tennessee now 12-6. Or check that, 12-5 on the season. Missouri improves to 13-5. And then out on the left coast last night, Arizona State goes into Stanford, and the Cardinal beat them 86-77. Arizona State 16th in the country. Other games last night, Villanova, no problem. Georgetown beat them by 32. The number one ranked team in the country wins 88-56. Also last night, it was Texas Tech going into Texas and winning by 9. No, check that. That's an upset. I missed that one. My bad. Texas knocked off Texas Tech. Sorry about that. Texas knocks off 8th-ranked Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, by 9, 67-58. Xavier, 6-point win. The Musketeers, 11th in the country. They run the record of 17-3, beating St. John's by 6, 88-82. Couple of other finals in top 25. 14th ranked Arizona beats Cal in Cal by 21, and Ohio State goes to Northwestern, and the Buckeyes, 22nd ranked in the country, defeat Northwestern. They run the record of 16-4. Ohio State 71, Northwestern 65. But again, a little closer to home. Pete Tackett, you're a big fan of Tennessee sports, and you look at Rick Barnes losing last night. Some folks say he's not getting it done. Some folks say the heat's on him, but I don't know. I think he's doing a pretty good job. Again, folks keep saying we've given him enough time. It goes back to the old Tennessee mantra. Everybody says, hey, we've given him enough time to make a change, and we've heard that in football. Now we're hearing that in basketball. And as Bill O'Reilly said, what say you about that, my friend?
Well, I think Rick Barnes is doing a good job, and I love Tennessee basketball. And to be honest with you, the one thing you can count on out of Rick Barnes is normally consistency. They did lay a little bit of an egg last night, but excuse me, I walked in here and my allergies set off for some reason. I'm not, maybe it's your cologne or something.
I do that to people.
But the thing about it, I think with Rick Barnes, you can count on is a clean program, and I think he's making good progress. I'm a fan. I think it's a little bit poetic justice. They go into Missouri and get beat by Conzo Martin, though. They ran Conzo Martin out of town just because he won and wasn't flashy. I don't know what the deal was with Conzo Martin, so it's a little bit poetic justice.
Yep. And of course, his first year at Missouri, he was 63-41 with an NCAA regional semifinal berth with Tennessee when he coached there from 2011 to 2014. So a little bit of a revenge. And so do they play him again? Let me see. Look down through here. They do not. That's one of the teams they played just once in the Southeastern Conference slate. They will play. Tennessee is on the road at South Carolina on Saturday. Not an easy place to win. Kentucky found it out earlier in the week. So
there's a lot of there's some good basketball going on in the SEC.
Oh, yeah.
and as you said earlier, parity's the name of the game. But, think about Auburn being competitive and Alabama being competitive and South Carolina being – those are not household basketball names.
Exactly. And then Kentucky goes into South Carolina, gets beat the other night. So Calipari's guys are up and down. So
I'm like everybody. Everybody loves to hate Cal. So I'm with everybody else on that one. My two favorite teams are UT and whoever's playing Kentucky.
Gotcha. Good point. So anyway, that's what's going on. East Tennessee State plays tonight. The Bucks at Furman. We'll talk more about that.
Well, those guys are outperforming expectations this year. This would be a big game at Furman.
Yeah, that's a big game. Both front runners in the South and the Southern Conference. So, of course, the question around that program is how long you're going to be able to keep Forbes, because obviously this guy's got big time written all over him. So I would think, although he seems to be happy here, but when they come knocking with those big checkbooks open up these bigger schools, you got to wonder how long Forbes will be here.
I think that with Dr. Nolan over there, nobody asked my opinion, but Dr. Nolan over there, and they talk about this. They want to be the premier mid-major school in the country, and they're chasing that. And if you'll remember in the days of Alan LaForce, Les Robinson, and some of those guys, they always had somebody in the wings, and we didn't really lose any ground on the program. So the real key to that is are we grooming somebody? They've done a good job with their football hire, I think. So, who knows? Maybe they'll ride up with him and give him enough money to keep him.
Yeah. Lady Bucks got snowed out last night. It'll be a doubleheader of sorts. The ladies play the first game at Furman tonight in Timmons Arena in Greenville, and then the gentlemen will follow that. So it's a doubleheader for the Bucks tonight, and then they come back home, take on Western Carolina Saturday afternoon at Freedom Hall. And tip-off time for the Bucks on Saturday will be 4 o'clock on Saturday. Hey, we're live here at Champion Chevrolet. We're joined by our buddy Pete Tackett. It says BGEA and Antioch Baptist. So BGEA, he is here on behalf of something that he's taken on, and I'm glad that he did. It's a really cool opportunity for you and I to get involved in the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association and the celebration of Will Graham coming to town in April. So there's classes, I guess, for lack of a better term. What's going on?
Well, I think as an understanding of what we're talking about today, the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association has been doing these events since Billy was a young man. First with Billy, then with his son Franklin, now with his grandson Will. And they've changed the names. They went from crusades to festivals to celebrations over the years. And one of the things you have to understand about them is that if you think it's an event in April, you're probably going to miss the point. When they come to town, it's a process. This is a very earthy illustration, way to say it, but conception is an event, pregnancy is a process. Well, church world is the same way. You know, folks make decisions, and that's important, but there better be a process in place so that they can grow spiritually. And so one of the things that churches are getting involved with is what's called these Christian life and witness classes. They begin next week, and they deal with three things. You go to 3 2-hour classes. It's open to everybody, whether your church is participating or not. It's free. It's great training, world-class trainers from the Billy Graham Evangelism Association. All these guys are full-time vocational evangelists coming in to do this. And the classes are going to be offered all over the Tri-Cities. And this is the big understanding. You have, in order to go through the classes, it's 3 2-hour classes in 3 successive weeks. And but here's the deal. Those classes are being offered kind of all over the Tri-Cities multiple times during the week. So you may say, for instance, Antioch at 1014 Antioch Road in Johnson City is hosting Thursday nights beginning on January 25, February 1, February 8th. We're doing those 3 classes. Well, you may say, man, I'd love to go to those, but I can only go to 2 of those Thursday nights. Well, there's other opportunities. The same thing's happening down at Central Christian Church on Monday nights during those same weeks. And so you might go on Monday night at Central Christian and the next week go on Thursday night at Antioch, but you can look at kind of the smorgasbord of offerings and go anytime during that week. And the 3 classes that are in successive weeks deal with the first week really just with your personal walk with God. You know, one of the things that Dr. Graham was famous for saying many years ago, and I think may still be true, is that maybe as many as half the people sitting in church don't really have a personal relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. So they start with that and talk about discovering the practices of an effective Christian life and principles for overcoming adversity in the Christian life. So that's kind of week 1, 2-hour class. Week 2, they talk about your witness. So the first week it's your Christian walk. Second week it's about your witness, and it talks about just how do I share Christ and what are some different tools. You know, everybody does it differently. And then the final week it's the care of the new Christian. So what if this happened? What if you prayed for someone, invited them to go with you to the celebration, and they made a commitment to Christ? What could you do to help them grow spiritually? And it talks about understanding the needs of new believers and how to even begin a beginner's Bible study, either in your church or in your home and that sort of thing. So the real, to get your mind around it, the key to it is to be in one class each week for 3 successive weeks. And we'll have on our website, you can go 2 places. The website is tcrcelebration.org, Tri-Cities Region Celebration.org. It's tcrcelebration.org. And those events are on there. You can just click and it'll give you this list of all the classes and all the locations. Or you can go onto Facebook and look up TCR Celebration, and it's got that there as well. And just, you know, come. You don't have to register. You don't have to make reservations. It doesn't cost you anything. Materials are free. 2 things will happen during the run that you may want to be aware of. Many of you may have wondered about all these years of watching the Graham organization invite people to come down and make a decision for Christ, and someone prays for them one-on-one. Well, if you go through these classes and you wanted to be a counselor at the celebration to talk with people about how they can know Christ, you fill out an application. So that will come from the pool of people attending those classes. And then the other thing that enables you to do is they actually have kind of a worldwide referral network. Where people can take phone calls for people. They're still showing many of the old Graham rallies on TV, and folks call in to make decisions for Christ. At the end of those, you can sign up after you get through this class, fill out an application, and you can be one of their people to take those phone calls as well. So it's just it's the process. If you just say, man, I'm going to go to that event at the end of April, you're going to miss a lot of good stuff, and this is one of those good stuff things that we need to get people involved in.
See on the screen, we're talking to Pete Tackett, a dear friend again with the BGEA and the Antioch Baptist Church, of which he's a pastor here in Johnson City. Coming up, got some NASCAR news involving Danica Patrick and Chase Elliott. Also college football. Nick Saban's got him a new offensive coordinator. We'll tell you about that. And a couple of coaching changes. We don't talk much about the NFL for the way they handle the national anthem. So we got a couple of games coming up this weekend. You know what those are. But there's been some coaching changes. I'll tell you about that as far as a couple of offensive coordinators let go in the NFL. And so we'll tell you all about that coming up in a few minutes. But beyond that, NFL, if they again, if they can't stand for the flag, and my father served, I've said this 100 times, if they can't stand for the flag, I don't need to give them any airtime. This is the way it's going to work, because we're in the greatest country in the world, and the opportunities afforded you by what the men and women have done to protect our freedoms in this country down through the years. These boys can't stand during the national anthem. They don't need to be on my show, and I'm sure NFL's not going to drop and go away because they're not on my show, but this is my personal thing, and so, but there has been a couple of coaching changes, we'll tell you about that, but beyond that, nah, probably not so much. Got some Major League Baseball coming up, also some high school basketball. A lot of the teams got snowed out over the last couple of days, and so makeups begin tonight, and so some of these teams, Pete, are going to look like an NBA schedule because they got them backed up. They're going to have to play a lot of games in a short period of time to get them all in. Just FYI, you have to play your conference games. Now, the non-conference games, you get down to it because typically February is your big snow month, and so there's typically a lot of cancellations in February over the years. So if you get down to push comes to shove, they'll knock the non-conference games out of the way. You got to play your conference games for the seeding for the tournament. So if they get backed up in conference games than they are already, then there's some of these teams going to be playing 3 or 4 games in 5 or 6 nights, almost like an NBA or a college schedule. So that'll test them boys' legs and their conditioning, right?
We're at the 18th, and there's a lot of our school systems that haven't been to school 2 or 3 days since the first of the year. So there's a lot of stuff not happening.
A lot of stuff sitting on hold. So exactly right. We're also very excited to tell you we're going to be doing a lot of Elizabethton baseball coming up this year. We signed, everything's signed, sealed, and delivered. So Cyclone Baseball is going to be right here on this Facebook page a lot in 2018, almost doubling our coverage, as a matter of fact, what we did last year. And we got basketball next week. Got Elizabeth and East on Tuesday night, and Elizabeth and Happy Valley next Friday night in basketball here on the old Facebook page and the website. Pretty excited. I get to go to the Cove on Monday, the Billy Graham Training Center, and sit down with Will Graham and some of the folks over there from the radio station, The Light, and 106.9. And so very, very excited about this. The meter's running. This thing's winding down. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to look around and see. Folks ask me all the time, well, when's the Lord coming back? All I can tell you is every day the sun comes up, it's a day closer. But this is an opportunity for some folks to make a decision for the eternity coming up in April that, won't get another chance when he comes here in Freedom Hall in April, right?
Yeah, sure is. So, and hey, I don't make this may be the first time this has been said on media, but we were in a meeting this morning and got this confirmation, and that Crowder is going to do the youth rally night on Sunday night or Saturday night of that weekend. David Crowder is going to be playing there. So, and he's been filling up places at ticketed prices, and it'll be a free event for folks to come be a part of that youth thing. It's going to be a great night, and then Will Graham will share the gospel and some pretty good things going on out there.
It's awesome.
And they're filling up the rest of those slots as well with named people that folks will recognize. So it's going to be pretty top notch. And Will's just he's like his grandfather. If you've ever heard him preach, he's just a very simple. Billy Graham never said a whole lot profound. He said you must be born again. He had a gospel message, and I think sometimes we try to make the simple things profound. But one of my professors in school said real good preaching makes profound truth simple, and Billy Graham did that, and Will has inherited that gift. So it's going to be a great event.
He'll be on the show Monday. We're taking the show to the Billy Graham Training Center, the Cove, and again, for me, an old Cowboy's been doing this for many, many years. It's going to be right there, one of the top 2 or 3 things I've ever had a chance to do, and I'm a huge fan. I've said this more than once. Underneath the pillow, growing up as a little fellow in West Virginia, transistor radio every Sunday night, the hour of decision with Billy Graham, and when he had his crusades on TV, my world just stopped. I can remember missing Little League baseball games to stay home and watch Billy Graham revivals. So I thought it was the coolest thing when George Beverly Shea get up here and sing, and it's just awesome. So I'm getting goosebumps. But it's going to be great, and we'll be over there on Monday. Tennessee football, Jeremy Pruitt, what do you think? You think they made a good hire?
Well, here's the track record. Every other coordinator that was hired out of Alabama is playing in the playoffs this year, so it looks like a pretty good hire, doesn't it?
That's a good point.
I was telling somebody the other day, of course, you probably already talked about this, but if I'd been Pruitt, I'd have been recruiting Jalen Hurts as soon as Alabama put the other guy in, because he's going to transfer somewhere. Those guys are the same age.
There you go.
And so he's going to transfer somewhere, but I think it's a good hire.
Georgia's quarterback Easton transferred. It looks like he's going to transfer to Washington, so Jake Fromm looks like to be the man. But again, if you go back and look at Georgia's recruiting early signing period, I think he got one or two. I know for sure he got one big 5-star quarterback recruit, and maybe two. So you look down the line to Easton and maybe Jake Fromm. In fact, some of my buddies in Georgia said the guy they're bringing in, this incoming freshman's better on paper than Jake Fromm.
Wow.
Which is pretty good. So the rich keep getting richer, and, we'll see. But I think Pruitt, for what he did while he was still coaching Alabama, getting ready for those two ball games they were in with Clemson and Georgia, and he did that by day, and by night he was out recruiting for Tennessee and wearing orange. I thought he pulled off some pretty good recruits in the recruiting period with one eye on Alabama, one eye on Tennessee.
I think one of the most surprising things that's happened when you look at all the coaches out there, the one that surprised me most was Will Muschamp. I've always felt like he was one of those guys that when he got to Florida had just risen one level above his competency, and he was made to be a coordinator. But he's proven me wrong. I mean, he went down there and did some good things at South Carolina, and they wrote him a big check last week to make up for it.
Yes, they did. I was getting ready to say, he got a big pay raise, about $600,000 pay raise for Will Muschamp.
About what you get, right?
That's it. Well, I don't quite get that, but yeah. So
you do a great show, and they come in and throw you some more money, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's how it rolls. Or we have people over trying to get me fixed up with people on the show, like Andy did.
See, you brought that up. I didn't.
The dating game with Andy Dietrich. It's like, I'm single, want to mingle. This guy's nuts, but I love him. But anyway, we appreciate you very much and what you're doing. And so, again, one more time, the website is to find out more.
It is tcrcelebration.org. And just go there and it'll tell you everything you need to know. Lots of upcoming events, and we just hope folks will pray for us. And you do a great job on the show. I enjoy listening to you, and it's always good to come hang out with you.
You're awesome. We go back a long way. Thank you, my friend. Love this guy. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We will take a look at NASCAR, the NBA, and the National Hockey League, and some college football all next year on the show 669. We're live at Champion Chevrolet. Excuse me, on the Tom Turner Sports Show.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just two great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
What a great guy. Appreciate that guy very much. Pete Tyke, we're back here again on the Tom Douglas Sports Show. We're live again at Champion Chevrolet. Hello to Jerry Keller. Hello to Max Medicine Mart. Nikki Palmer. Hello, young lady. Appreciate you very, very much. Which camera on? I'm on this one? Okay, so let's look up into that camera. Don't look at that camera. Look at this camera. So, yeah, hello to Nikki. And hello to JoJo Bradley. Also, hello to my buddy Bobby Dickin, again, Cherokee Barbershop, home of the free haircut. Haircuts are free. A cup of coffee costs you $11, and get to keep the cup. This man trims my beard for me, and when this hair gets the appropriate length, and it's getting close to getting the cut for PanteneBeautifulLinks.com, we're going to donate the appropriate length of hair to cancer wigs, or wigs for folks going through cancer, obviously ladies that have lost their hair due to chemo radiation for cancer, and so we will get it cut at my buddy's shop. That would be Bobby Dickin, the Gator Man. We call him Cherokee Barbershop, again, down at the Executive Park South and South Road, right down from Tipton Ames Working Farm here in Johnson City. The barber pulls out, the Gator Man's in, and we appreciate him bunches and bunches and love him to death. So that's the cool thing about this show. I get a chance to be around a lot of neat people like Tim Copenhaver and like Andy Dietrich and like Pete Tackett and Darius Hensley, and the list goes on and on and on. So that's one of the cool things for me, getting a chance to be around great people, and it's an honor to do this show. I know that sounds cheesy and syrupy and Pollyannish, but it's an honor for me to do the show, I'm telling you. All right, NASCAR news. We said she was, then we said she wasn't. Now apparently she is. Danica Patrick's going to be at the Daytona 500, which is 30 days from today. Why, you ask? Because her original sponsor, GoDaddy, is going to bring her back for the two races. She's calling it the Danica Double. So she'll carry a familiar sponsorship for her two-race farewell. Longtime backer GoDaddy reuniting for her efforts in the Daytona 500 and the Indianapolis 500. News released again this morning by GoDaddy. Patrick, 35 years old, primarily sponsored by the Scottsdale, Arizona-based Internet Domain Registrar for her first 6 seasons in NASCAR and her last 2 in the IndyCar ranks. Patrick was front and center for GoDaddy in its advertising, including a starring role in a record 13 commercials during the Super Bowl. So GoDaddy.com is going to bring her back and sponsor her for the Daytona 500. So Danica, with probably Aaron Rodgers, will be in the pit since they're courting now. They've locked that big guy. And so... Thank you, sir. He just called me wuss. Andy's trying to get me fixed up with people. Now one of the salespeople called me wuss because we locked this door here, so when they open up, papers don't fly. Anyway, can you feel the love? So anyway, Danica Patrick is going to be at GoDaddy.com. She will be in the Daytona 500, which is 30 days from today. Chase Elliott continuing a strong sponsorship. Kelley Blue Book, the most trusted brand for car pricing, again has extended its relationship with 12-time NASCAR champion Hendrick Motorsports. So Kelley Blue Book will be on the car of Chase Elliott coming up with the 2018 season. Another sponsorship news. Then here's a picture from yesterday that there's Dale Jr. in North Carolina was involved in a wreck. Jr. out for a drive in North Carolina's Piedmont region. Several inches of snow since dawn yesterday, and so snow in that area is pretty rare, so folks don't always know how to drive in it. So after stopping to help a motorist that had run off the road, Junior himself said he center punched a pine tree. Quickly shared his adventure on Twitter, assuring fans that he's okay. And of course, there's a picture of it as he slid off the road and hit a pine tree. But looks like Junior's okay, and so he had a little fender bender yesterday in the Piedmont area with the snow, and so after my Pine Tree incident, was driving home and came up on a police car sideways near the ditch. Me and 3 other guys pushed him to safety. No photo evidence, him being a cop, and didn't feel like exposing his quagmire that he was slid off the road, so kind of saved face, probably a little bit embarrassing to this police officer in North Carolina. So Dale Jr., out being a good guy yesterday, wrecked himself okay, and then helped, as we said, this police officer who needed some help as he slid off the road. So that's what's going on there. NFL news, again, we got the 2 games coming up on Saturday, or rather on Sunday, the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game. AFC Jacksonville 12-6 at New England, 14-3, 3 o'clock game on Sunday. NFC Championship game on Sunday, the second game in Philadelphia. Minnesota 14-3, Philadelphia 14-3. A couple of coaching changes. The Pittsburgh Steelers, there's been some talk about running off Mike Tomlin. That's not going to happen. But what he did, he fired his offensive coordinator, Todd Haley, gone. And so he'll promote quarterbacks coach Randy Fichtner. Hope I'm saying it right. Fichtner, maybe, F-I-C-H-T-N-E-R, Fichtner, to fill the vacancy. And so Fichtner started with the Steelers back in 2007, arriving in Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin. He's been the quarterback's coach for the past 8 years. Ben Roethlisberger's been pushing hard to get this guy as the offensive coordinator, and so he's never been one in the National Football League. But Randy Fichtner, hope I'm saying it right, F-I-C-H-T-N-E-R, the new offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Todd Bowles, again, firing their offensive coordinator for the New York Jets. John Morton is gone, looking for a replacement there. And so they're looking for a new OC, if you will, for the New York Jets. And that's happening with some of the coaching changes in the National Football League, ahead of course, the AFC Championship game coming up again on Sunday, in which apparently there's some problems with Tom Brady. Of course, he is 40 years old, soon to be MVP. Tom Brady, 40-year-old quarterback and soon to be MVP. Tom Brady, everybody says it's a foregone conclusion he's the MVP again this year. We'll see. Patriots announcing Wednesday Brady would not be meeting with reporters in order to spend time with the team's medical staff. Apparently he has a jammed injury to his right throwing hand. He jammed his hand, limited at practice, and so not sure how bad this injury is, or if it's an old injury acting up or a new injury that's brand spanking new. But anyway, Brady jammed his hand and got good news after the x-rays. So jammed his throwing hand at practice after accidentally being run into. So we'll see how Tom Brady is ready to go for the first game, that Saturday or Sunday afternoon game at 3 o'clock between the surprising and surging Jacksonville Jags and the New England Patriots in the AFC, NFC, Minnesota, and Philadelphia. Kind of a twist of irony there. If the Vikings win the game, you know where the Super Bowl is. The Super Bowl is going to be in Minneapolis this year. So if the Vikings can beat the Eagles, they would have hosting the Super Bowl in their own stadium, which is unprecedented. So we'll see how that goes for the Vikings, but that's what's going on there. And so that's your very latest in the National Football League. We're live again here at Champion Chevrolet. We'll take a break, come right back. We'll go to the phone, talk to our buddy Carmichael. He is snowed in today, but he said, I want to be on your show. And I said, I appreciate that. So we'll do that right after you hear this, as we're live again at Champion Chevrolet on this cold Thursday. And so we'll be ready to go. Also talking Buck basketball in a few minutes. We'll talk to Carmichael about a number of things in the world of sports, as he is always on top of everything. And we'll do that right after you hear this. We're live at Champion Chevrolet, show number 669 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Davis Sports Show, he's with us by phone, our buddy Carmichael. Let's go to the phone. He's there and say, good afternoon, my friend. How are you?
Well, just stuck up here on old Overton Mountain. That's with Clifton Clowers. Got a little. I literally live up on. There's a bunch of houses here, and I live up this long driveway, and it's a windy driveway and a hill. I've already taken a tumble on the icy driveway this year and injured my ribs, but it's difficult to get out of here, and so I am stuck here taking care of like Clifton Clowers had his pretty daughter. Well, I've got my pretty daughter up here as well, taking care of her while she's out of school over here in Buncombe County.
There you go. So Carmichael's with us. We appreciate him being with us. Let's jump in here and go. College basketball, 5 upsets last night. SMU beats number 7 Wichita State. Alabama knocks off Bruce Pearl, number 17 Auburn. It was Texas Tech losing at Texas to the Longhorns. Texas Tech 8th in the country. You had Seton Hall getting creamed by Creighton by 17 last night. You had Tennessee losing to Missouri at Missouri by 4. And then Arizona State, 16th ranked, goes into Stanford, loses to the Cardinal. What's this telling me? Is this telling me there's parity in college basketball? You got 5 upsets on a Wednesday night in college hoops?
Really, there is no quote dominant team. I mean, if anything is quote close to being a dominant team, would probably be Villanova. I mean, they destroyed Georgetown last night, and I mean that's pretty much as dominant of a team as you can see. Wichita State, losing at home SMU, that's a little bit of a surprise. SMU has had good teams the past several years, but they've, this year it's going, especially going there. Texas Tech going on the road, losing at Texas, that's not a surprise. Arizona winning, that's a team I said last week, look out for Arizona, looking at kind of some of the scores from last night. Arizona State losing at Stanford, not a surprise. Auburn losing to Alabama. When you go on the road, Seton Hall, though, playing really badly as they did at Creighton, I mean, that was a surprise. Even more, and Tennessee just played bad. Missouri didn't play well in that game. Tennessee lost the game as much as Missouri won the game.
I want to say hello to Donna and Mike watching up in Charleston, West Virginia. Hello to you kids today, and we're here live at Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. So you look at college basketball, and of course we're beginning to. We've kind of turned the corner, getting close. March Madness right around the corner. Give me 5 teams, or let's go 3 teams. You mentioned Villanova. Give me a couple other teams that are beginning to get it together, and it could be a powerhouse come March Madness time.
Arizona, I think, is the one that really struggled at the beginning of the season. Now they've kind of caught fire, and they're really playing. They're really playing well as a team that's starting to play well again. Even though Oklahoma lost the other night, that's a team that has done that. And you still think about Purdue. Purdue started out the season, I believe, 0-2, and now they've won 17 in a row. I believe I'm correct on that. I know Tennessee beat Purdue, and I think they lost the other game in that as well. So you got to think Villanova, Purdue, Virginia keeps playing well. Virginia's not, when you watch Virginia play basketball, it's not pretty. I mean, if you want to watch the beautiful game of basketball, you're not going to be a Virginia fan. But if you want to watch efficient basketball, you do, because they play a great defense, that matchup man-to-man defense that Coach Bennett has at Virginia, and they play that tempo or really slow tempo game where they work so many passes around to get a good shot. They're not an up and down the court type team. They want to keep that game at about 55 to 60 points.
We're Don Carmichael. Speaking of number 2 Virginia, here's the schedule tonight. Top 25. Number 2 Virginia at Georgia Tech. Virginia 16-1. Georgia Tech 10-7. Gonzaga tonight, the Bulldogs 16-3, 13th in the country, hosting St. Mary, a 17-2 team. That could be dangerous. And then 23rd ranked Michigan in the Big Ten, 16-4, travels to Nebraska to battle the Cornhuskers, 13-7. All 3 of those games, Carmichael, could be trap games tonight for Virginia, Gonzaga, and for Michigan.
Virginia could be. I mean, because you never know really with Georgia Tech. You never know which team you're going to get when you get Georgia Tech. I mean, you get a team that plays well and does and struggles, but then you get a team that can be the best team, one of the better teams in the ACC. So, it really is. Georgia Tech has done that this year. The one game I don't think is much trap. I don't think Michigan's going to have much problem with Nebraska. I don't think Nebraska's a struggling Big Ten team, and I think Michigan State's able to pull out that win tonight.
A little closer to
home.
Or
Michigan's able to pull out that win.
A little closer to home. Tennessee goes to Missouri and loses to former coach Quanzo Martin, losing by 4, 59-55. They kind of run hot and cold in Knoxville. What's your take right now on Rick Barnes and the Tennessee men's team?
Well, they went through that stretch. That murderous row stretch of those games with the Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Texas A&M, and got through there okay, and then went to Missouri last night and kind of laid an egg. But I think Tennessee is a team that's still right there. I still think they're the surprise team in the country this year. I mean, nobody would have if you had told people at Tennessee on January 17th, 18th, you're going to be 21st in the country. I think they would have done cartwheels in Neyland Stadium or Thompson Bowling Arena for that. And I just think as long, it just was a game that they didn't shoot the ball very well, turn the ball over too much. Got to be able to protect the basketball. And they played what I call a Quanzo Martin type game, because he wants to keep you in that, especially a team in Missouri that got hit with the injury bug this year. I mean, a lot of people had a lot of high hopes for Missouri, but losing their top freshman player at the beginning of the season really has put a damper on their year.
Talking to Carmichael, talking a plethora of sports, talk a little baseball coming up here in a second. Tonight, East Tennessee State, the Buccaneers, red hot, 8-game winning streak. They won all 5 of the conference games by double digits. They take their traveling show on the road to Furman. Paladins are 13-5. They won their first 4 conference games before losing to Wofford. They're 4-1. The Bucs are 5-0 in the conference. So big game tonight down at Timmons Arena in Greenville, South Carolina. Coach Forbes got the Buccaneers playing really good right now, Carmichael.
He does, and they're playing well. They're able to get the team now playing with the gel, all the transfers and new players coming in. It usually takes a while to get that cohesiveness together on the basketball court. But to me, this is a trap game. When we talk about trap games tonight, this is a game down here at Furman is a trap game. ETSU historically has struggled down at Furman. Furman started out in the conference 4-0, lost to Wofford, but gave Tennessee all they wanted earlier in the year down at Thompson-Boling. So I think ETSU's got to be careful tonight going into that situation at Furman.
Lady Bucks got snowed out last night. They will play tonight in the first game. The Lady Bucks are 3-0 in the conference, 10-8 overall. Furman's Lady Paladins 11-7 and 2-2 in the Southern Conference. That too could be a trap game for Brittany Ezell and the Lady Bucks tonight at Furman. So they have a double dip going on, as we said. Ladies first, gentlemen the second game of that doubleheader tonight in Greenville, South Carolina.
That's back to the good. That's back to the good old days, back in our days, back when we would have, and when we were doing Buck games. And I was working in the sports information office. I had many a men's doubleheader that I had to cover over the years, where you've got like a 5 o'clock ladies game and a 7:30 men's game. And it's like, holy cow! I mean, you're just running back and forth. So yeah, this is the good old days. Back to the future.
You got it.
Back to the future tonight with the Bucks.
Back in the day when I was doing play-by-play for the Buccaneers for East Tennessee State, Carmichael was my stat man. There was none better. I'm telling you, this guy was spot on every game. Made me sound like $1 million with all the stats he pumped my way when I was calling the ball game. So we go back. What you tell me the last time we were here? It was 30 years ago. Is that right? Did you tell me?
30 now 30. Well, 32 and a half. 1980. The fall of 1985. So
good grief.
Back, so yeah, and I've been around ETSU basketball and between campus radio and sports information and everything like that. As far as working it since 1980, and I can remember going back in the days, back to the old Brooks gym, back and watching guys. I can remember seeing there was a guy Austin P had in the early 70s. He only played there one year, was one of the best scorers in the nation, named Fly Williams. I can remember going back and watch it, and they bring the big fly swatter out there, and watching Buck games back in like 1972, 73 in Brooks Gym. So I've been around there for a while.
We're talking to our buddy Carmichael. Carmichael, the Winter Olympics. Let's switch gears. It starts coming up next month. Does anybody? I mean, I'm not going to say anybody cares.
Who cares? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And with no NHL players, who cares? I mean, with none of the current NHL players, who cares?
All right.
I mean, you've got retired. Some guys are retired. I mean, Brian Giunta retired. He's on the American team. Martin Erat, one of my favorite Predators of all time. Martin, I think he's with Czechoslovakia. He's retired now. The greatest trade in Predator history, it's going to look like. Philippe, a few years ago, Washington, when Barry Trotz went there, was needing scoring. So he goes to his old buddy, the Predators, and asks for Martin Erat. Well, the Predators were happy to give Martin Erat to the Capitals, and they got Philippe Forsberg, who was their top prospect. And all Philippe Forsberg's done is, in Nashville the last couple of years, scored 30 goals every year.
Well, apparently the biggest story in the Winter Olympics to this point is two people. One's going, which I don't understand. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going for NBC to the Winter Olympics, and then Megyn Kelly is not going on behalf of NBC, and that seems to be the biggest buzz in the Winter Olympics right now. I talk to people out about, are you ready for the Winter Olympics? People go, could care less. So I don't know. Maybe it's just... No,
the biggest thing about the Winter Olympics will be Johnny Weir and Tara Lipinski doing their thing on the ice skating. I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing of the winter. Ice skating will be the top thing in the Winter Olympics. It usually is. Yeah. Unless you have hockey that's, now with no NHL, nobody's going to watch it. I mean, literally, the hockey, nobody, even the Canadians won't watch the hockey.
Well,
and that's pretty sad. The Canadians aren't going to watch the hockey.
Is this a sign of desperation because NBC needs viewers so badly they're going to send Dale Jr. over there hoping the NASCAR folks will watch the Winter Olympics so Dale Jr.'s over there reporting? I mean, why is Dale Jr. going to the Winter Olympics? I mean, it's okay.
That's beyond. I mean, that's one of those, and it's like, and I mean, it's like, okay, he's going to the Winter Olympics, and then I guess, well, that means he's probably going to miss Daytona 500.
Yep.
Or be close to it, because that's about the same. Yeah, they're same time. I mean, I guess, and they're trying to, get a little bit more exposure, do something. I mean, they're trying to get it, do anything. I mean, they're trying to do anything to the pump range, it's going to be, the biggest things will be the ice skating. It always is, no matter what happens, America does. And probably more now the non-traditional sports, the stuff like the X Games, doing the stuff off the, Shaun White doing the stuff off the pipe, the snowboarding off the pipe and stuff like that. That has probably become more popular than any of the traditional Winter Olympic sports.
We're talking to Buddy Carmichael. Let's switch gears and talk a little Major League Baseball. Got some free agents still hanging out there. Jake Arrieta, Yu Darvish among those, J.D. Martinez. What do you think? The Pirates, since we last visited, unload Andrew McCutchen to the Giants and Garrett Cole, their ace pitcher, to Houston. So they're cleaning house in Pittsburgh. What do you make here the last 2 or 3 weeks before spring training starts in Major League Baseball?
In Pittsburgh's situation, it's getting ready to go to a full rebuild mode. They're saying that they're still the pieces that they obtained from both the Astros and the Giants will allow them to contend this year. But I think you're getting ready to see tear it down, rebuild it again. In the thing about free agents not signing, it's term. It's not money, I don't think. Most teams now have just come to the conclusion that we're not going to give you 5 and 7 year deal. Those days are over. The days of those long contract deals are over, and we'll give you a little bit more money up front, but we're not going to give you that. We're not going to give you the money. We're not going to give you the years that you want. The Albert Pujols deals, 10 years. You're not going to see that. You're not going to see that happen again. It's going to be shorter deals. Teams don't want to get tied up with players, giving them a 5 or 7, especially if you're over 30. You sign like J.D. Martinez, wanting a 7-year deal. He's 32 years old, has had 2 pretty good last couple seasons, really good seasons, played in hitters' ballparks. But do you really want to tie a guy like that? And he's an average outfielder at best defensively. You want to tie that guy up for 7 years? No, you don't even really want to tie him up for 5. 3 years maybe, give you $20 million. If you like it, take it. If not, then wait all the way you get to spring training and see what you're going to do.
Astros starting pitching now. You've got, of course, Justin Verlander, Dallas Keuchel re-signed. Now you've got Garrett Cole. They're still flirting with trying to get Yu Darvish and what's the other guy? Morton? There's a guy named Morton down there. This pitcher.
Charlie Morton. You got Charlie Morton. I mean, you've made a team like Houston. I look at them now again as a contender to win the American League again. You just put another big piece with the Astros.
Absolutely.
By getting Garrett Cole.
Absolutely.
And they're playing. They know they're in a window, and that's what these teams are looking at now. When they get close, like Houston, like Kansas City did a few years ago, like the Cubs are right now, and like Houston did a great job building their team back up through the draft and through amateur signings. But they know it's a window. They've got a 3-4 year window to really hit it. And that's what they're trying to do. They're in this window. They've traded a few younger players off, some good prospects, to get some players, major league players now that are ready to go. And they know we've got a 3 or 4 year window to really hit it. And if we don't hit it, then okay, we do as much as we can. It's like the Giants. Last year during the season we talked a lot about the Giants and the struggles. Well, the Giants went out and got McCutchen. They've went out and got Evan Longoria. They know their window is just about to shut, and they're trying to make that one last run. They know 2018, 2019, and then they're going to have to go through a massive rebuild to do this. And a lot of teams, that's one thing. A lot of teams also not wanting to get up toward the luxury tax because they want to go into free agency next year with a lot of money. There's going to be a lot of guys. Bryce Harper is the big name next year. Clayton Kershaw could be another big name next year. They want to go in there with knowing that they've got enough money to spend on those free agents for the 2018 season.
Best pitching staff right now in Major League Baseball. I'm going to throw 4 out there to you. Would it be actually 5. The Cleveland Indians, the New York Yankees, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Washington Nationals, or the Houston Astros? Who's got the best pitching staff right now as of today?
I would say somewhere between Houston and Washington. Mm-hmm. I think you've got those guys. The thing is, their bullpens? The questions with both of them are their bullpens. it was with Houston's bullpen last year. They really didn't have what I call a per se closer. They used a lot of different guys in the closer role at different times during the year. Now, can they come in and get that one closer to do that this year? Washington just making sure that they got all their guys, Scherzer, guy like Gio Gonzalez, guys like that healthy this year to make another run. This is they know their window's closing. I just somewhere between Houston and Washington. I like the Dodgers, of course, with Kershaw. You've got that. Depending if they are able to make any other moves in free agency, Alex Wood has been a good pitcher the last 2 or 3 years, but I'm just not I guess I'm not an Alex Wood believer. I think somewhere in the next year or so, he's going to wake up and reality's going to hit with him.
Before I let you go, we're talking to Carmichael. He's got some Parks and Rec news to tell us in a minute. 30 days out for the Daytona 500. GoDaddy.com says we're bringing Danica back for the Daytona 500. So the movement's beginning to tighten up there. Guys getting ready to go down there. And now Danica start testing here very soon. The Clash is coming up in 3 weeks, I guess, now on the 11th of February. So we're right around the corner, and we're getting ready to go racing at Bristol, too, in 87 days for the Food City 500. So what's your take on NASCAR right now as we head down to Daytona?
Well, it's just kind of quiet. I mean, this has really been a quiet off season for NASCAR. I mean, I think the GoDaddy with Danica, it probably didn't help. It probably didn't hurt that the announcement that she is dating Aaron Rodgers, and coincidentally, all this coming over the last few. Now you got Danica. Well, now she's back in the news again. Okay, well, we'll sponsor her for a race and let her go down there and try to see if she can come up with a win. It's going to be curious. Does Matt Kenseth end up anywhere? Somewhere in the next few weeks, does he end up, or does he have to wait till after Daytona to try if he wants to get a ride this year? Can Martin Truex keep the consistency that's been the last two, winning the championship and then the consistency the last couple of years? Can that keep, to me, that's one of the top questions. What's life going to be like at Hendrick this year with another new driver? I mean, those are probably big storylines in NASCAR.
In the what-if category, what if, let's say, of course, the odds are unbelievable, exponentially out of sight for this to happen, but let's say she goes down there and wins the Daytona 500. Then what do you do? If you're GoDaddy.com or someone else, do you say, she's going to this is going to be a marketing boon for us. Let's get her in a car the rest of the season. So is that a possibility? Let's say she goes down and wins the Daytona 500 with GoDaddy. Then what for Danica Patrick? What do you think would happen?
If I were her, I would go ahead and still quit, because why not? Why that would be going out. That would be going out as great as you could go out. I mean, you win the Daytona 500 in your last NASCAR race. Why race again? Derek Cope should have thought about that 30-some years ago, 28 years ago. I mean, win the race. I mean, because now and this is not being morbid or dark, but when they write your obituary, when the New York Times puts that in, Danica Patrick, former Daytona 500 champ. That's how people would remember her if she wins. And I think, to me, if she'd win it, I'd say, okay, I've done it. But somebody might do it. She might think, okay, well, I've still got it. Now somebody will give me the financing to stay in the sport. But if it were me, it would be kind of like, I've done it. There's nowhere else to go but up. Just end your career on a note like that. Don't you think Junior, that would have been the fitting in to me, winning the 500 and riding off in the sunset?
You got it.
She could get in that truck with Aaron and his dog and go riding off in the sunset for another State Farm commercial. I mean, that's the way to go.
We're talking to Carmichael.
Be the way to go. But
leave us with Parks and Rec. What do you got going on in Johnson City Parks and Rec, my friend?
Well, one thing we've got that's actually happening today. We're having a fitness. Open my mouth. We were scheduled to have a fitness expo today, but I do believe we are closing at 5:00. It was supposed to be today, so I will go off that subject right quick because it just went through my head with Johnson. One thing about the park and recreation: when Johnson City schools close, not only are Park and Recreation basketball games canceled for this evening, all of our adult and youth games are canceled, but we also have our facilities like Carver Recreation, Memorial Park Community Center. Those facilities close at 5 o'clock. So if you're interested in going to the facility today, it does close at 5. And I was getting ready to talk about the expo that they were supposed to have today. I'm sure we'll reschedule that expo. I know we've got a job fair scheduled, not only with Park and Recreation, but with other departments in the city, and I'll find out more about those in the next week or so. Scheduled for Thursday, February 8th at the Keystone Community Center from 5 until 7. And the Memorial Park Community Center, the Daddy Dollar Dance we've talked about. Well, this year we've added the sensory sensitive hour, and this is a safe environment. Dance to low volume music. The DJ will. I know Miss Sarah. We will go. We normally go to the Daddy Dollar, but we're also going to do the sensory sensitive hour. And for children that do have issues with sensory issues, don't need to be in really, really loud music. It's going to be going from 5 to 6 on Saturday, February 3rd, prior to the dance. And even the attendees who come to that, they'll get enjoy refreshments and take home a craft during that sensory sensitive hour. And then the Daddy Dollar Dance is scheduled from 6 to 8 o'clock. So, and we'll have a DJ, music, refreshments, and surprises. $10 a person for the Daddy Dollar Dance through January 26th, and then $20 a person from January 27th to February 2nd. And you can either register online at myjcparks.org, or you can register at the center. There will be photos available that night if you want a professional photography for the event, and those are $15, the vouchers for those. And you can buy those online or at the center prior to the event.
There you go. Great report, my friend. As always, stay warm. Hope to have you back in person next week. And, again, appreciate all you do. Great job. I'll talk to you next week, all right?
You're welcome. Thanks.
Yep, good man right there. Our buddy Carmichael checking in with us again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Appreciate him very much being with us again here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show live at Champion Chevrolet. Quick break. We got a whole smorgasbord of sports to run down through. College football, new coordinator, offensive coordinator in Alabama. We've got Pittsburgh Pirate fans up in arms about their team, and those are cleaning house in Pittsburgh. College basketball, the McDonald's All-American team, the National Hockey League, the NBA, got all that and more, and where you can get tickets to the Food City 500 and the Fitzgerald Glider Kids and Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300 and the Zombie Auto 125. We've got that for you as well. All that straight ahead as we roll on here. Show number 669. Tomorrow will be at Food City and Gray on the $5 Friday at Food City and Gray with our buddy Dale Hammett and the kids there at, we call him Delvira. Delvira, Baba Mau. Love it. We'll have him with us tomorrow on the show. Hello to Mary Ellen Malone in Charleston, West Virginia. Hello, young lady. Appreciate you very much. In fact, I'm going to run down this for you as well, coming up the next break as well. The top 10 in college, or rather high school basketball in West Virginia. We've got a lot of folks in West Virginia watching the show. We appreciate that. I've got the top 10 in AAA, AA, single A, and boys and girls basketball from the great state of West Virginia. We'll have that for you as well coming up here in a few minutes. But first, quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Champion Chevrolet as we're here again on show number 669 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just two great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Let's take a look at some sports going on in the great state of West Virginia while we got a chance here. Again, hello to all the folks in the Mountaineer State checking us out, and we have a lot of folks watching, and we certainly appreciate that. Mary Ellen Malone and Donna and Mike in St. Albans and Londa Whittington and Becky Hickenbottom and Beth, oh gosh, can't read the last name. Beth's with us as well. Also, Andrea T. I want to say hello to you as well. So, folks, again, from the great state of West Virginia, Big 12 Conference publicly reprimanding both West Virginia men's basketball forward Wesley Harris and Texas Tech following the court storming incident. The Red Raiders win Saturday over West Virginia down in Lubbock. Conference also tacked on a $25,000 fine for Texas Tech for its handling of the post-game protocol. In the moments following Texas Tech's big win, fans in Lubbock stormed the court to celebrate, running past West Virginia players trying to walk off the court. Videos circulated on social media showed a Texas Tech fan running into Harris. Harris struck the fan, which obviously is a no-no. In a statement released earlier in the week, Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby said Texas Tech should have had protections in place to prevent such a scenario from happening, hence the $25,000 fine, which is chump change in the world of college athletics. But anyway, point made. And so Wesley Harris was reprimanded by Bob Huggins, and the Texas Tech Red Raider program reprimanded by the Big 12 Conference. Speaking of West Virginia, they'll play Saturday at home in Morgantown against Texas at 2 o'clock tip-off before they head off to Texas Christian on Monday. Then on the 27th, the big boys are coming to town. They're all big boys, but Kentucky will be in Morgantown on January the 27th. The Wildcats of John Calipari taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers. Also, Marshall plays tomorrow night, the Thundering Herd in Huntington against Middle Tennessee State. 8 o'clock tip-off tomorrow night in Huntington for the Thundering Herd. We are Marshall. Love my Thundering Herd. All right, AAA boys basketball. Let's run them down for you real quick. In West Virginia, the top 5 AAA boys basketball: University High, Woodrow Wilson out of Beckley, Martinsburg, Parkersburg South, and George Washington. AA, the top 5, Fairmont Senior, Chapmanville, Oak Hill, Philip Barber, and Bluefield, with the alma mater Nitro ranked 9th in the state in AA basketball this week. Wildcats 10-1. Go Nitro. Go you mighty Wildcats. Go, go. I think so it used to be. Or 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1, all for the Wildcats. Stand up and holler. So that goes back a long way, back in the day when I was in high school. Single A boys basketball polls in West Virginia. You have Wheeling Central, Ravenswood, Tug Valley, Valley Fayette, and Notre Dame, the top 5 in boys basketball in the state of West Virginia in Single A. Girls, AAA, Buchanan Upshur, number 1. The Lady Spartans of Greenbrier East are number 2. Parkersburg, number 3. Morgantown and Wheeling Park are tied for 5th in the state in AAA girls basketball. St. Albans gets an honorable mention vote for the Lady Red Dragons in AAA. In AA basketball, for the ladies, Wyoming East, North Marion, Fairmont Senior, Wayne, and the Winfield Lady Generals are the top 5 in the AA basketball in the state. And then Nitro's Lady Wildcats get an honorable mention. Then in Single A, you've got the top 5 single A girls teams: St. Joseph Central, Wheeling Central, Tucker County, Parkersburg Catholic, and Cameron are the top 5 in West Virginia in girls high school basketball. So I thought we'd pass this on to you here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Thursday, live from Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. The Border Bowl being played this weekend down in Sevierville, Tennessee. Food City proud to bring the 12th annual Border Bowl, the retail supermarket's second-year sponsorship, and the All-Star Football Classic. 4 states involved: North Carolina, Georgia, Kentucky, and Tennessee playing each other. 12:30 on Saturday, the first game, Kentucky against Tennessee. The second game, right around 3:30, North Carolina's All-Stars taking on Georgia. Again, tickets are $10 for adults. Kids 10 and under get in free. And so the cities of Gatlinburg, Sevierville, and Pigeon Forge are preparing to welcome visiting fans, friends, and family. So that's coming up this coming Saturday, and that'll be happening at Sevier County High School, home of the Smoky Bears. Some of the kids locally on the team would include from Tennessee High's Cortland Carter, Science Hill's Trey Gastiger, Happy Valley's Landon Moorfield, Daniel Boone's Noah Shelton, Greenville's Jamie and Thompson, and Elizabethton's Ryan Wetzel, some of the guys on the team. Again, Tennessee will taking on Kentucky All-Stars at 12:30 in Game 1 on Saturday. Game 2 will be a 3:30 kick with North Carolina taking on Georgia. Since its inception, over $1 million has been distributed to area students as a result of the Border Bowl scholarships. Other event sponsors include General Shell, Delta Dental, Rocky Top Sports Complex, and the cities of Gatlinburg and Sevierville. It's this coming Saturday, and it's going on again, as we said. That'll be happening in Sevierville. And again, those are some of the kids that are on the team from the Tennessee side of things, which is really cool, and we salute those guys for being on the team. And I think that's a pretty cool honor to be in the Border Bowl this coming Saturday at Sevier County High School in Sevierville. College basketball, the full rosters of the McDonald's All-American team has been announced, and some of the schools that have kids on the All-American team that are going to be moving on. The loaded pool of talent, which includes 23 5-star athletes and 1 4-star, are familiar names. And so these guys, again, leading the way. Here's a breakdown of the schools with the most representation along with a look of the rosters. So you have a McDonald's All-American guys. You have 3 playing. They'll be going to Duke, 3 going to Kansas, 2 going to North Carolina, 2 going to Vanderbilt, 2 going to Kentucky, 2 going to Oregon, and 1 McDonald's All-American heading off to Syracuse, LSU, Mississippi State, and Maryland. So after reading that, you would have to say the rich just keep getting richer in college basketball, with the McDonald's All-Americans signing on to play with some of the bigger schools. National Hockey League is running down for you last night. 2 on the ice. It was Boston skating past Montreal 4-1. Pittsburgh gets upset. They go into Anaheim. The Ducks knock them off 5-3, the defending Stanley Cup champions. Tonight you've got 6 good matchups tonight. Goes as follows. Toronto skates in Philadelphia. Toronto 25-17. The Flyers at 20-16. Dallas skates at Columbus tonight. The Blue Jackets at 25-18. Dallas, the Stars, at 26-17. Also tonight, Washington, the Capitals, skating in New Jersey. Washington, a 28-win team. New Jersey with 23 wins. The Boston Bruins 25-10, skating in New York against the Islanders, who are 23-19 tonight. And also a couple of more. San Jose 24-13. 13, skating at Colorado against the Avalanche, who's 24-16. And the Penguins continue their road trip. They'll skate in LA tonight against the Kings. Penguins 24-20, the defending Stanley Cup champions, skating in LA. The Kings are 24-15. A couple of more tonight. Buffalo skates in New York against the Rangers. The St. Louis Blues in Ottawa. And the Arizona Coyotes will skate in Nashville tonight against the Predators. Preds 26-11. Arizona at 10-28. On paper, it's a win for the Predators tonight, but you don't play it on paper. You play it on the ice, of course. And, of course, the biggest matchup, two of the top two teams in the entire National Hockey League square off tonight. The Vegas Golden Knights at 29-11, skating in Florida against the Tampa Bay Lightning with the best record in the National Hockey League at 31-10. We'll let you know tomorrow who wins those games on the ice, including the Predators taking on Arizona tonight in Nashville. NBA from last night. Couple of upsets. It was Charlotte knocking off Washington 133-109. Atlanta, with only 13 wins under the belt, knocks off a 23-win New Orleans team 94-93. Other winners, Toronto by 5 over Detroit. San Antonio, a 5-point win in Brooklyn. Golden State, the defending world champions, a 7-point win in Chicago, 119-112 against the Chicago Bulls. Miami with a 5-point win at Milwaukee last night. Memphis beating the Knicks by 6 in Memphis. The Lakers go into Oklahoma City and get blown out. Oklahoma City beats them by 24. Utah, a 15-point winner at Sacramento. And the Los Angeles Clippers, a 5-point win, 109-104 last night against Denver in Los Angeles. NBA tonight, Philadelphia at Boston. Orlando taking on the Cavaliers in Cleveland. A couple of good matchups tonight. Minnesota 29-17 in Houston against the Rockets, who are 30-12. And Indiana playing some good basketball of late. Pacers at 24-20 will play at Portland. Again, the Trailblazers at 23-21. And that's your NBA schedule for this Thursday. Again, January the 18th, 2018. As we told you earlier in the show, and when we were talking to Carmichael, Dale Earnhardt Jr. making his way to Super Bowl 52 and the Winter Olympics. I don't get it. Well, I do get it. That tells you there's some desperation involved as far as what could be a lack of viewership of the Winter Olympics. So I'm thinking they're wanting to send Junior over there to get the NASCAR fans to watch Junior at the Winter Olympics. He was a 14-time most popular driver voted on by the fans. Makes sense from a marketing standpoint. I don't know what he's going to be talking about, but let's see. Expected to visit the speed skating venue as well as the American bobsled team. I'm just reading it. Dale Earnhardt Jr. retired in November, participating in outdoor events around Minneapolis in the days leading up to the Super Bowl, appearing on the pregame show ahead of the Super Bowl before going to South Korea to kickstart the Olympics. He's expected to visit the speed skating venue as well as the American bobsled team. I don't know. I do know. That tells me there's some desperation in the camp to send Dale Earnhardt Jr. to the Winter Olympics, to the American bobsled team and the speed skating venue. Okay, I'm just reading what I have in front of me here. College football, let's tell you about it. We've got a new offensive coordinator at Alabama, the national champions. Again, Nick Saban tapping inside the staff Mike Locksley from co-offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach to offensive coordinator. Locksley replacing Brian Daboll, I've heard it pronounced both, who left Alabama to be the offensive for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Take a quick break. We'll be right back. Andy Dietrich's going to join us. We got more sports coming at you. We got about 14 minutes left in the show. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet, and Andy comes back, and he joins us right after you hear this, as we're live here at Champion, the #1 Chevy dealer in the state. Nobody sells more Chevys, more bow ties, and our friends right here at Champion Chevrolet. He joins us next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just two great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, there he is, our final guest of the show here on this cold Thursday.
Oh, you're talking about me.
Is Tim here to control? He's not here, is he?
He's on the other side of the show. I'm talking to somebody. Yeah. Well, since I've been away,
yes, I
know you didn't get through with your intro.
Yeah.
I've been setting you up a dating site on Match.com.
Okay, I'll go with it.
You know, I'd take a picture of you, and I had to airbrush it a lot. No, I mean a little. And spruce you up a little bit. You look about 20 years younger.
Thank you.
And I put in all your interests and your likes.
What are my interests?
Don't worry about it.
How did you market me, Andy?
I'm just trying to
help me out.
Just help you out.
Feel sorry for me?
No. I'm just.
Andy's trying to find me a woman, I guess.
You know, what's that one dating site that's out there now?
I don't know.
If you're a farmer and you want a farm girl or a farm, it's a
plowboys.com or something like that.
It's probably Plow. We used to have a Plowboy that worked here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a dating site for farmers.
That's me.
But I didn't put you on that one.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Which dating site did you
Match.
put me on? It's Match?
Match. Well, we could put you on ChristianMingle.2.com.
There you go. So, what would you tell me? How would you market me? Since you don't know me very well, what would you say about me?
I would just put he's a real stud muffin.
Good
catch.
Good catch.
Somebody you'd want to take home and introduce to mama.
Okay, someone you want to take home to mama. All right. Mm-hmm.
You know, when I'll be honest. I'm going to be honest just for a second.
No, don't be honest.
Be honest. But, you know, when I used to date.
Yes.
I would look at that girl across the table and say, would she be a good mother
to my children
in the future?
Yeah.
And that was one of the first things
that you thought of.
And if there was, you know,
any hesitation,
she's
out. Yeah, she's gone.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Dietrich passed the test.
She passed the test.
Yeah.
She's a great mother.
She is a great mother and a great wife and a great lady.
Even though she makes fun of me and what I give her for Christmas.
Yeah. Well, what'd you give her this? You got her People Magazine won it this year?
I think In Touch this year.
And a Claxton fruitcake or something. What was it?
No fruitcake. I got her. I got her some more beef jerky, 2 different brands, but Hudson ended up eating most of it.
Which is his son.
Reese's Pieces, In Touch magazine.
Mm-hmm. Who's on the cover of In Touch? Do you know?
I think it was Jennifer Gardner and Ben Affleck or something.
Okay.
But
she got an In Touch and some Reese's Pieces and 2 kinds of beef jerky.
Yeah, but she was like, "Oh gosh, just pulling this junk out." And
I understand, Haley. I'm right there with you.
And she sees a phone case, and she's like, "Why do I need a phone case?" Because we had just bought her back in the summer one of those backup batteries that Apple makes that goes onto your iPhone, And she, why do I need that? And she pulls out an iPhone 10 at the bottom.
That capped it. That got her excited.
But she'll probably come on here again and say, "Oh, you got me beef jerky." Not to say the
She wouldn't
nice,
tell the big stuff.
nice golden nugget.
Yeah.
The candy bar with the golden wrapper at the bottom.
No, throwing you under the bus. So I get that. So I understand. My man Eddie Dietrich is in the house. So
Tom Taylor, Valentine's Day, Sam's Club.
Sam's Club.
If you're single and ready
Yes.
to mingle,
Single and ready to mingle.
Tom will have roses to hand out to the single women.
I will.
At the chamber breakfast. It's a monthly morning chamber breakfast.
I didn't know that. Okay. I'm going to have roses to pass out?
Yes, roses to pass out.
To all the single ladies.
Single ladies.
On Valentine's morning.
And what's that song? All the single ladies, all the single ladies. I may have that song playing under your table where you set up.
Okay.
Just broadcasting. You know, like you have an intro when you walk in the room?
Yes.
That'll
like
be
Elvis 2001
Yes.
Space Odyssey when I walk in
Yes.
to be. What's the song? Baby, why don't we just dance down the hall, baby, straight up the stairs?
That's a little too old for me,
Bouncing
Tom.
off the... That's Josh Turner, man. That's good stuff. That's country. That's good stuff.
Is that twangy country?
No, that's good country. Josh Turner? Oh, baby, that's good stuff there.
Sort
George
of like
Strait? You don't like George Strait? Now, what's that doofus redheaded guy you like?
Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So you're going to tell me Ed Sheeran is more popular than George Strait? I don't think so.
In
George
today's
Strait's got more-
environment,
well,
he
there's your
is-
key. I'm not a millennial, so
I'm not a millennial either. Neither is
I'm
Tim.
sorry.
We golly no.
in
he's not.
today's environment, what? Go ahead, finish your statement. In today's environment, Ed Sheeran is more popular than George Strait.
Yes.
Not a snowball's chance.
Yes.
Nah. I'll debate that till the cows come
Yep.
home. George Strait has more number one singles than anybody else in the history of music. Elvis, the Beatles, pick 'em. This guy rocks anywhere he goes. George Strait, you're telling me, what's this guy's name? Ed Sheeran?
Chewing them out.
What is his name? Ed Sheeran?
Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed
So the debate is,
Sheeran.
well, if I had time, I'd tell you all to respond to this.
Woo!
The debate
Getting hot.
is Ed Sheeran more popular than George Strait? I would love to get reaction to that, because there's not a chance. So, well, let me say to certain people, but let's talk the mass populace. I'm going to say George Strait kicks his butt up and down the road. You just... This is the first time I've seen Mr. Dietrich.
No, I'm thinking. I was like,
Oh,
you
you're
know,
deciphering?
can I ask Siri on my phone who is more popular, George Strait or Ed Sheeran?
Yeah.
And I wonder what she'll say.
Ask her. I want to hear this one. What will
she
she
may
base it
not.
on?
I don't. Who knows?
Yeah.
And she may not understand the question.
Yeah.
Hey Siri, who is more popular, Ed Sheeran or George Strait?
I Can Still Make Cheyennes by George Strait.
Oh, she's just making the song. She doesn't understand the question.
Ask her again, because she's a little slow. And she's going to be evasive because she knows the answer. Go ahead.
Hey Siri, who is more popular, George Strait or Ed Sheeran?
Perfect Symphony is by Ed Sheeran and Andrea Bocelli.
It's
Yeah.
too confusing of a
Yeah,
question
she's-
for Miss
She's
Siri
evading
today.
the question. What's his lady's name? Scurry?
Scurry.
Scurry. George Strait versus Ed Sheeran. Oh, not a chance. So,
Have you ever seen some of the things Siri can do?
no.
Hey Siri, can you beatbox?
Here's one I've been practicing: boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots. I can do this all day. Cats and boots and 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 cats.
We need to get Siri a job. We need to get her a life. How can I become Siri? You call him and go, hey Siri, and go, yes, Andy.
You can change you can change Siri to have a British accent.
I want to be Siri. How do I get to be Siri? Who do I talk to about being Siri? So I can be on everybody's phone. You call me and say, Tom, is Ed Sheeran and George Strait? And I'll go,
Let me call up Apple and see what they say.
I would love to do that. Can you work that out?
Yeah.
This guy's got connections everywhere. That'd be neat. So when you go to the phone, it's not Siri. What would you call me? Tommy? Tim called me Tommy today.
Hey Tommy, what's the weather today? Like,
It's
hey,
going to be cold, Andy.
Hey Siri, what's the weather today?
It's currently Partly clear and 24 degrees in Johnson City.
Clear.
Today's high will be 33 degrees, and the low will be 21.
I could just sit over here and ask Surrey a bunch of questions.
Yeah. Ask her something about Chevrolet. Ask her, Siri, is it Sherry or Siri? What we got?
Siri, S-I-R-I.
Scurry.
Scurry. She's not going to answer it. She'll get offended. I don't want to hurt her feelings.
What'd you do today, Tom? I went to Champion, talked to Scurry on the phone with Andy about George Strait and Ed Sheeran. So,
well,
you going to ask her another question?
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Hey, Surrey, is Tom Taylor single and ready to mingle? She doesn't know that one.
No, she doesn't know.
I've confused
and she's not
her.
going to know. Scurry,
No.
go back to bed. Who is this lady? Is she
Hold on. Hey, Surrey, can you tell me a joke? Hey, Surrey, can you tell me a joke? Surrey's not working right.
You know, you might be a redneck when you call Scurry and Scurry won't answer you back. So that's not a good sign because she answers everybody, right?
Yeah.
So,
She just don't like my voice, I guess.
Yeah. There you go.
On that note.
There you go. Ed Sheeran versus George Strait. That's your research for next week. And I promise you George Strait's more popular. No, there's not.
I'll do some research.
There's no debate.
I'll do some research.
All you got to do is put his concerts attendance up against Ed Sheeran. Is Ed Sheeran even out there?
Yeah, but Ed Sheeran hadn't been around as long.
Nah, we're making excuses. We're making passes now. Giving passes. George Strait versus Ed Sheeran. Not even close.
What do you think about Garth Brooks?
Kicks his butt too.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Garth Brooks, was it 2 years ago? He sold out 3 straight nights in Knoxville.
There you go. Had to add a show. So, how many times has Ed Sheeran sold out in Knoxville?
I don't think he's ever been.
There you go. You don't
He's
go
too
when you
big
don't,
for Knoxville.
Yeah, you don't
He's
go when you
Nashville
can't
or
sell them.
Memphis.
You what?
He's Knoxville or Memphis.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean Knoxville or Memphis?
Nashville or Memphis.
Nashville or
excuse me.
Memphis. See, he's making passes. They're already making excuses. Well, they don't come to Knoxville. It's not big enough. Really? Well, okay. All right. So
Did you see where Amazon listed today their 20 finalists for the city for their second headquarters in Nashville was on the list of the top
really?
20 cities? Yeah.
Ask Scurry right now. Ask her who was the top, however you want to phrase it, the top country music attended acts, however you want to say it, in 2017. However you want to say it. I want to see what she says.
Hey, Surrey, who is the top country music superstar of all time?
Sorry, I don't know the answer to that.
Because she's a moron. That's why. Yeah, Scurry, she don't know anything.
Hey, Surrey, how many concerts has George Strait sold out?
My web search turned something up for how many concerts has George Strait sold out. Have a look.
Oh, she just posted a bunch of articles. Surrey must be too cold today to give us the right answer.
She's scared. That's what's wrong. Yep.
Well.
Yeah. Oh, scary. That's why I don't have her on my phone. But I would like to be. I'd like to take her a place where you call and you would say, Tom, how do I get tickets to Ed Sheeran? Andy, you can get tickets at Ed Sheeran by calling.
Andy, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
Go see George Strait.
Go see George Strait because Ed Sheeran, he's giving them away down there in the corner. So, all right. Tell me again before we get out of here. I love having this guy over here. This is good. You just never know where we're going to go with Andy. So we go from singling and mingling to this yo-yo. What's her name? Sherry? Sherry?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's ineffective.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's ineffective. So, anyway, but this man's not because he's got supplier pricing on his Chevrolets the month of January. Tell me about it.
Yes, supplier pricing on almost every single new 2017 and 18 truck. What that means is we had employee pricing, yes, November, December, and employee pricing, if you just went employee pricing and supplier pricing, employee pricing is better pricing out the gate. But what they're doing this month is doing supplier pricing, but they're putting more rebates on them to equal what November, December, in some cases better than November, December. So they always have to have something new, come up with new ideas and new ways to do rebates, new way of advertising. So they've just switched it up, and it's basically the same but slightly better on most models. But we've got $11,995 on select 2017 Sparks, 18 Equinoxes starting at $19,995, 2017 Traverses starting at $28,995, and 2017 Corvettes 20% off MSRP. So that's pretty much saving over $10,000 to $15,000 on every 17 Corvette we have left in stock.
Awesome.
You can view all of our vehicles in our inventory on championjc.com. You can fill out credit applications. You can buy parts, accessories, schedule service appointments, get financing. So it's a one-stop shop, like we talked earlier. You sit in your bathrobe at home and your Lazy Boy, and you on your tablet, your new fancy tablet.
Yes.
And search all that you want to. Also, before we go, $50 raffle tickets are still available up until probably right at lunch on January 27th for the Mountain States and Niswonger car raffle. 100% of the proceeds from the raffle ticket go to Niswonger Children's Hospital. Raffle tickets are $50 a piece. They only printed 4,000 of them. And if you get your choice, if you're the grand prize, win one of 3 different cars, and then after that we have a second, third, and fourth place drawing with $2,500, $1,500, and $1,000 in cash. So 4 chances to win, 4,000 tickets printed. They've never sold out the raffle tickets. Come close. So your odds are great. And 100% of the proceeds go to Niswonger Children's Hospital.
Would you say hello to Londa Whittington up in West Virginia? Went to school with the young lady.
Londa,
L-O-N-D-A.
Londa Whittington.
Let's ask Londa before we get out. Londa, if I gave you tickets, this may burn my biscuits. Londa, we have a debate going on.
George Strait
or Ed Sheeran? Who would you rather go see in concert? George Strait, I got you in the front row backstage to meet George Strait, or front row backstage to meet Ed Sheeran. Who would you want to go see? Londa, would you please reply, and I'll wait. I will not go off the air and finish my show until I hear back from you.
What if she's scared to put something?
She'll shoot me straight. She's no West Virginia girl. So front row backstage passes, front row seats to see George Strait, or front row backstage passes to see Ed
Sheeran. And also, while
Sheeran.
you're typing your answer, if you got any good old dirt on Tom, post it there.
Oh, what did she say? Look, she
No.
said, George.
No.
Yes, thank you, Londa Whittington. It would
No.
be. It's not even debatable, Andy. It is not even debatable. My audience.
She's only doing that because she feels sorry for you because you have chosen the wrong person.
No, George Strait is the king, baby.
No.
Hey, he's had more #1 singles than anybody else in music. The Beatles, Elvis, Fleetwood.
But for
Pick 'em.
someone being sort of a DJ and a radio personality, and you had never heard of Ed Sheeran
Never
until
heard
I
of
told
it.
you.
No. In fact,
Has Londa heard of Ed Sheeran?
I have dirt too. Whoa! It's time to go.
Pictures. You can post pictures in his feed right down there.
You would not even recognize me in high school. I'm telling you, you would. I was like 5'5" and 150
Okay,
pounds.
Londa, is he more handsome now or back then?
Oh, Londa, she's about to. You about to put her on the spot now.
Londa.
Oh, Londa Whittington. She's a nice one. I used to pick on her in high school. She'd yell at
Well,
me.
she would probably drop some dirt on you right then. Now then.
She said, "Yes, I've heard of Ed." Oh, but she'd rather go see George.
So is he more handsome now or back then?
Ed?
Now.
Whoa.
Wow, he's sort of like a fine wine or a bourbon.
Wow.
He gets better with age.
There you go. Thank you, Londa. But even more importantly, thank you that you chose George Strait, and you had a choice between Ed Sheeran and George Strait. You go see the king of country music. So there you go.
Was he a nerd in high school?
I want to hear the response to this. Was he a nerd
Or
in
was
high
he
school?
a stud?
Was he a nerd? Let's just leave it as nerd. Was he a nerd in high school? I want to hear this myself before we get out of here. So, he was cute in high school, but handsome now.
Woo! Wow.
Now we're talking. You're in my
Wow.
will. Thank you, Londa.
Wow.
Well, next time I come to West Virginia, I'm going to meet you and take you to Chick-fil-A and buy you a
He
shake.
will bring you a pumpkin pie or a bag of Skittles.
That's it. Oh, my ex. You don't like Josh Turner? No. I don't know what
He was
that
not a
means.
nerd?
He was not a nerd. Okay, thank you. You don't like Josh Turner? Baby, why don't we just dance down the hall? Baby, turn the lights down low. You don't heard that song? You're
Yeah, I've
man?
heard it.
The man has not lived.
But, yeah.
Okay, you're on. Hey, I'm on Chick-fil-A, Shake in West Virginia with Londa Whittington.
There you go.
And we'll sit in the car and listen to George Strait. Or Ed Sheeran. Where's this guy from?
Talking to Scurry.
Yeah, talking to Scurry. Where's this guy from? Where's Ed Sheeran? Is he British?
From,
American?
he's British.
Oh, so he's from over there.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never heard of him.
He's best friends with Taylor Swift.
I don't like Taylor Swift.
Jeez.
No, man. Now let me get in another one. Let me tell you about country music.
Do you know who Taylor Swift's named after?
Wait a minute. You know the number one female in country music as far as sales?
Reba McEntire?
No.
Britney Spears?
No. That is incorrect. The number one female singing in terms of volume of sales all time?
Patsy Cline?
No. Shania Twain.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, yeah. That's a fact.
I should have saw her in Vegas. I want to see her in Vegas if she's still out there.
Shania Twain. I think she is sales as the number one female, and the number one guy is hands down Garth Brooks. He blows it out. So, but again, the debate is on, and it's been concluded. Londa has been the judge. She's made the final
I got
statement.
just trashed today. Run over.
Felt like one of those double cabs hitting Andy.
Oh, God.
Kaboom. So Tim will be proud.
Yeah.
You got, yeah. So anyway, Londa, thank you, dear. Appreciate you playing along and having fun.
Yeah, thanks, Londa.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Give me some taters. I'm gone. That's my man, Andy Dietrich. Love him to death. He's a piece of work. So
He is a piece of work.
You got it. So we're going to, again, work our way for Valentine's Day with the Johnson City Chamber. Andy's the new incoming president of the Johnson City Chamber of Commerce. He's got connections, so he's got me lined up to, is it going to be every month we're going to do this?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if I guess it depends on where it is and the contained space.
Yeah.
If it's a large, it just
you.
depends. It's on a month by month. We'll see how it goes, Tom.
Oh, he's a little surly today. Okay, all right, we're gone.
But you're in on the first one.
Thank you.
Handing out roses, chocolate
Handing out
strawberries.
roses, I'll do that if
Single
that's what you want me
women.
to do.
Because he's more handsome now than he was back then. So
you
you
go.
ladies, you're lucky. Whew.
Whoa. She says, quote, he was cute in high school, but handsome now. Thank you, Londa.
Did you have long hair back then?
She did.
No, did you?
Oh, gosh, no.
Okay.
No, I've never had long hair till now. So, well, actually, I did have long hair back in a time in high school when I had a motorcycle and I was a little wild thing, a little bit. So, but no,
Were you part of the Hells Angels crew or what?
I was going to cut it, and old Nikki Palmer there I go to church with, she's a hair cutter. She said, leave it. I like it. It looks nice on you. I said, okay.
Sort of like you will lose your radio prowess if you get it cut like Samson.
Yeah, that's it.
I'd hate that
I lose
for
my
you.
strength.
Yeah.
Because, see, if I'm talking like this, I get my hair cut. I'll be talking like this. So there you go.
I wouldn't be on here anymore if you're talking like that.
You're hilarious. Give me some taters. We're gone. Andy Dietrich will be back with him next week here at Champion Chevrolet. Tomorrow, Food City Friday, a $5 Friday at Food City. Will be at Food City in Gray. Thanks to our guests, Pete Tackett, Carmichael, Andy Dietrich, and Londa Whittington has been our guest today. And Tim Copenhaver as well. And Londa Whittington from Charleston, West Virginia has been our guest as well. We're out of time. Please like us and share us. We have fun. We talk sports. You never know what we're going to talk about. Today was matchmaking with Tom.
George Strait.
Ed
Sheeran, Scurry.
All my exes live in Texas.
I like that song.
Man. Still make Cheyenne. Gosh, what's my favorite song? What's your favorite George Strait song? Marina Del Rey. Ooh, that's a good one. Gosh, what is my favorite George Strait song? I don't even know. There's so many of them.
I've seen about 4 people about break their arms trying to open this door I locked for you over here to keep you warm in here inside the studio.
And we're past time, so we need to unlock the doors so these people can get in. So buy cars. We're out of time. We'll see you tomorrow at Food City Friday, Food City in Gray. Until then.